Hello everybody, welcome to Approaching the Question. My name's Jeff, looking forward to working with you on these introductions and making them perfect for you. So let's get started. First thing, how to read the question. So here's the question we're going to work on today. Some people believe teenagers are facing more problems in their life than they did in the past, and it's because parents are spending more time at work than home. Agree or disagree? So first of all, break it into subject, verb, object. So what that means is we have here is the subject, here is the verb, and all of this is the object. So this is one idea. And then the second idea is because, and then the subject, verb, and object. Okay, so break it up into its parts so you can see them separately. Now, on your exam, you'll use a pencil to do this. You can just put a line in between those two words, or you can circle, up to you. Then circle the keywords. So these we're going to use to go back and check that we are answering the question. Really important to go back and check and answer the question. That's your task achievement mark. If you get that wrong, you'll never get a mark that's good. So just checking this is going to make sure that you get your task achievement mark. Well, there's other things you need to do in the essay, but just checking this is make sure you do the first thing you need to do to get your task achievement mark. So, keywords, teenagers are facing more problems and more time at work. So we know because parents, right? Because parents are spending more time at work. This is to remind us. So this is happening, more problems, because parents are spending more time at work. Understood the question, perfect. So next we need to define our terms. So are facing more problems. So these keywords, they didn't tell you what the problems are. We need to talk about what problems they're facing. So that's a question for us. And then we have, because parents are spending more time at work, are those problems, the ones we're going to decide in a minute, because the parents work too much? We have to connect these two, right? We can't just put any problems. So let's try and do it. So let's think of some problems. We have drugs, loneliness, social media pressure, and exams. That's good 4. Are those problems because parents work too much? Let's have a think about it. So first of all, we're going to check our understanding of the question. So teens face more problems because parents work too much. That's the idea of the question. Do we understand the question? Yeah, we got it. That's the boiled down version. Teens face more problems like loneliness, and then we're going to try to think about if we can think and see if these problems are because the parents work too much. You see that? So these are the keywords. The problems are because the parents do something. Does this problems come from this? Yes or no? So let's try. So teens face more problems, and usually I would do this in my head. You can practice on paper or on the computer like I'm doing now. But by the time you get to the exam, you practice more. You can just do it in your head. You'll just think about it. So teens face more problems like loneliness and social media pressure, which causes self-image issues because parents work too much and cannot support them. Okay, so loneliness and social media pressure cause self-image issues. And they have these issues because parents are not there to support them. Seems reasonable, right? We can make this argument. Does it make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. So you notice I dropped drugs and exams. What I did was I chose these two because they're similar and they're easy to argue that it's because parents are away. So one sentence about the topic or situation now we can write. So teens often, notice I use often, face problems like loneliness and social media pressure, which causes self-image and self-confidence issues. So I added self-confidence issues into there because I thought one wasn't enough, and this gives me a little bit more wide range of vocabulary, which we'll talk about later in the course. You notice I use often. This is hedging. This is going to be in the main course, okay? Because they don't always face problems like this. So this is good academic language. So this is a good topic sentence. It tells us what is happening. That's all. Not who caused it, not why it's there, not the parents, just this is happening and it's common. Okay, so now we're going to double check the topic with the argument. So Teens face more problems because parents are spending time at work. So there's our topic sentence, right? So we're going to double check the question. And again, you see how many times I've gone back to the question? This is all in your head, and when you practice, you can do it very quickly, but I'm just showing you slowly so you understand the process of what you have to do. I see so many student essays where the question is not answered clearly. You have to make it very obvious for the examiner that you understood the question and you're answering all parts of it. Then you get your task achievement mark if you do that in the rest of your exam. So, or in the rest of your essay. So we're checking. So yeah, I think that, what do you guys think? Double check the topic with your argument. Do you think that this idea we have as answering the question should be? So now we can go for the thesis. So this essay will argue that teens must manage more issues when parents are not present because the support they need to solve the issues is not, oops, I used present twice, is not there. It'll be fine. So you notice I used because, and because is in the question. That's not a problem. It's as the first thing you're thinking of is, are you answering the question? That's the number one thing. So this isn't about paraphrasing. It doesn't matter if you use this structure in the same way as the question did. You're going to show, you've already shown in the first sentence, a nice clear sentence, and you're going to show in your essay, in your body paragraphs, your grammatical ability. Here it's just about answering the question, being very, very clear. We understand it's 25% of your mark. If you get this part wrong that we've just gone over, you've not got a 7 on your exam. And it depends how far off you are from the question. You could drop even down to a 6. You can't get over 7 if you don't understand, and you're likely down around a 6. So if you got 6.5 on your exam, part of the problem might be that you haven't answered the question. Okay? I mean, there will be a number of issues, but this is one of them. So you notice the structure if we go back. Where was that? Yeah, this one, right? The problems are because the parents work too much. Problems because parents. Does that match our thesis? Problems are managing more issues. I could put the issues in there, but I have them in here as well, right? So if I put these issues, loneliness and social media, then I would write a different topic sentence here. So there's more than one way to do it, but it doesn't matter. We're answering the question. It's very clear. So this essay will argue that teens must manage more issues when parents are not present because the support they need to solve issues is not there. So here's parents. So issues, more issues, because the support from the parents is not there. It's the same structure. So problem because parents. Issues means problems because parents not there. Okay? Perfectly clear thesis. All right? So practice an introduction, choose any question, and send the question and the introduction on a Word document to IELTSstudyplan.com and gmail.com, and I will analyze your introduction for you, okay? You might want to go through all of the videos in the introduction first and then write your introduction and send it to me. Because by the time you go through the videos, you should know everything you need to do. Okay, we've already covered a lot of it here, but what we'll do in the other videos is I'll show you how to use the introduction sentence to get your task achievement mark, to get your coherence and cohesion mark, to get your vocabulary mark, to get your grammar mark. All in the introduction. You're going to impress the examiner with this introduction. And I'm going to show you all of the things you need to do that. Okay, so good job, and I look forward to working with you.